I'm gonna show you the basics of this little car and how amazing it is and what it can do. I'm running low on battery. You probably can't see it on the GoPro right now, but I have 1/4 left on my battery meter, which is actually a fuel gauge on the dashboard. So I think that's pretty clever. Now we've got the oil pressure, which goes from low to high when you throw up the RPMs. You got the RPMs on the left side, you got your speed in the middle, your total speed, a real accurate scale speed. And you've got the reverse button, start, stop, and your lights. Now, when I pick it up and I use the left slider, as you can see the brake lights come on. So left slider, foot brake, intensity, low, high. Middle is not a slider, it's actually a button. When you press it, it's going to act as a clutch kick if you tap it. And if you press and hold, it's going to act like a handbrake. And on the right, you have your speed slider. Also, in the middle of your dashboard, right in this little circle where your speed is being shown, you can also see in what gear it is and what kind of settings you have on. It's on drift and pro right now, and your total kilometers. Now, the easiest way to get into a drift is start the car up, turn on the lights, because you want to see where you're going. Just drive in, handbrake, clutch kick, clutch kick, clutch kick, clutch kick, clutch kick. We can just drive and like this. Oh, that was close. Just only use the gas. As you can see, that works out fine as well. Now, let's see if we can initiate a drift with a foot brake. Yep, seems to work. Now, just foot brake again. Oh boy, a little bit more braking power to keep it going. So there are multiple ways to get yourself into drifting action, and this was on a dry track. If I go back to options, and I can put it on a wet track real quick before the battery runs out. Start, stop, lights on again, putting the car back here. Now let's see what's going to happen if I just gently drive. As you can see, it's very slidey already, making shorter turns. Taking way more wider approach to it. As you can see, it's almost like a ballerina. It's very fluid on the wet. On dry, you really have to work, and on the wet, you can just screw around a little bit, play with the steering way more. Whoa, close. So now we're gonna initiate a drift with a handbrake, keep it going while using a clutch kick, and then see if we can use the foot brake to get into a donut. So here we go. Bear with me. Donut! Sliding it down a little bit and into a burnout. Yeehaw! Everything it does is amazing. Now we're going to try one more time with just going into foot brake action. Handbrake, and then using the foot brake. Now as you can see, I'm not doing donuts, I'm really drifting right now. But with the foot brake, you can really get in close to that cone that you're trying to zero in on. When I use the foot brake, it's really lunging forward. So that's, in my book, that's just freaking amazing that everything is possible. Handbrake, clutch kick, foot brake to dive the nose forward. It's so amazing. The last feature, of course, that I'm very proud of showing you guys is the emergency stop. So here we go, launch control, and whoop, 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 and boom. Launch control, RPMs, and boom. And there you go. It stops that quick. The emergency stop is really an awesome way to let people drive your car, see if they can handle it. I mean, everybody can steer and use the brake and everything, so that's no problem. But if they think, oh crap, I'm gonna fall off something or I'm gonna bump into anything, flip your phone like this and you're safe. Let's go into the finish flag option. You've got single player. I don't have a friend with me right now who has a drift racer, and we're gonna host a multiplayer lobby and see what that's like. So I'm sad to say I can't test that right now. We've got single player right here, and you can press drive, which is the same thing if I go back to here and just press play. That's what it normally does. Now, I have to go to here to race. We're gonna put it in drift or race, and difficulty arcade or pro, the laps, and a wet or a dry track. But we need something for that. Here we go. We've got this right here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the start finish line that everybody can print out at home. Now, the only tricky thing that I found out is that I have to start it like this, past the drift or past the start finish line, because if I put it in front of it or on it, the scanner is going to scan and it's going to say that when I go over the finish line, I already drove or drifted one lap. Now, that's not what we want. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. Putting it into race mode, 2 laps, pro, and we're going to put it on race. Racing is not my strong point, but we're going to try it anyway. Top left corner, 0 over the 2 laps. The normal time, your best time. Drift points on the top right, we don't have to see those right now. Turn on your lights. Press the start stop button. As you can see, the racing lights are going to come on. I can already launch control. There we go, green lights. And boom! I'm stopping it right there. Top left corner, 12 seconds, a 600th. And my best is 5 seconds. Now, I have to start stop again because I used the emergency stop because I didn't want to drive into the wooden thing right there. Just starting it up, stopping it again. There you can see your total time is 12 seconds, 600, and your fastest is 5 seconds, 48. We're putting it on race, putting it on a wet track. Press the start finish, and here we go. Now we're going to do a false start on purpose. There we go. Slippery. Especially when I just use the RPMs. It's on race and it already wants to drift. Now, I flipped the phone again. I'm going to try and not do that for the up and coming drift laps. Best time, 5 seconds, and my overall time is 12 seconds. Just have to do that. And of course, it was a false start. Oh, that's not good, man. Back into the racing mode again, putting it on drift. And we're going to put it on a dry track first. Start and stop. It's going to count us down. Going to try and do a little bit of launch control. It's green, go! "10 seconds, and my quickest was 4. Start and stop, and as you can see, no false start. Total time 10 seconds, fastest 4 seconds, 4.5. Now back to this again, put it on race, wet track this time, drift pro, 2 laps, and press the finish flags again. Start and stop, turn the lights on, a little bit of launch control. Oh boy. It's slow. It's sliding all over the place. I don't know if it scanned the... if it scanned... No, it did not scan the first lap. Whoa, it's really... it's really sliding all over the place. That little bit right there, I screwed up. That's my bad. But it's good to know that it doesn't work like that. It really has to go over that finish line. 18 seconds, and the quickest was 6. And a false start. Those are the modes that you can do at least solo, and of course you can free drive.